Welcome back to episode 28 of my Clean Bulk series, and today I'm going to be covering a really important concept, no matter what your fitness goals are really, and that's pre and post workout nutrition. In order to see the results that you want to see in the gym, you have to be able to optimize your nutrition around your workouts, so that's what I'm going to be diving into today. So without further ado, then let's just begin. Starting off with pre-workout nutrition, this meal is actually a very important decision to not only optimize your gym performance, but it can also, by adhering to a good pre-workout meal, you're going to increase your chances of having long-term success in the results that you see within the gym. So it's very important. So to define what a pre-workout meal is, it's basically the meal that you consume anywhere from 1 to 3 hours prior to your training session. The goal of this is to actually decrease muscle protein breakdown and increase muscle protein synthesis. There's a bunch of different benefits. Some that I want to go over though is, like I said, it will increase your gym performance if you select the right foods, and you're also going to start the muscle building process. So determining what you're going to eat before you hit the gym is actually going to help you help maintain and sustain energy levels throughout your workout and optimize your muscle building. We can achieve all these things by combining the right macronutrients, which is your proteins, carbs, and fats, into a meal. My recommendation is to consume your pre-workout meal. I like to do anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. I think 3 hours is a little bit much. It's kind of a bigger meal, and I wouldn't recommend that to most people. So I would probably eat a pre-workout meal anywhere from an hour to 2 hours before your training session. This will allow for you to actually eat a manageable sized meal. And it'll also allow for easier digestion as well. So before we actually get into the meal that I would, just an example of a meal that I would do for a pre-workout meal, I'm actually going to tell you the benefits of what the protein, carbs, and fats actually serve into organizing them into your pre-workout meal. So starting off with protein, as most people are aware, protein is responsible for building muscle, and if you have a pre-workout, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to kickstart the muscle protein synthesis process in your body, which is the process that's responsible for actually building muscle. And this is because it's going to release amino acids into your bloodstream to actually kickstart your body and get your body into more of an anabolic state. So basically what you don't want is you want to reduce your chances of muscle protein breakdown, basically, which is catabolism. And by doing so, by having a high quality protein source before you train, you're actually going to be able to optimize your results, and you're going to be able to prime your body to build that muscle. So the second macronutrient is actually carbs, and it's a little bit more complex than you would think, so I'm just going to go over some of the highlights to the benefits that you would get from having carbs in your pre-workout meal. So basically what happens is your body's going to need a fuel in order to, like a fuel source to fuel your workout, and that's actually in the form of glycogen, which is found in carbs that your body stores. So you're going to be able to increase your gym performance through having a higher intensity type workout and to maintain and sustain energy levels. And also carbs is actually responsible for raising your insulin levels as well, which actually has shown to decrease your chances of muscle protein breakdown. So it's actually partly responsible for helping you build muscle as well. And when paired with a protein source, carbs is actually found to actually positively impact your body's ability to increase muscle protein synthesis, which again is responsible for building muscle. So make sure you're picking a carb source as well with your protein. And the final macronutrient that kind of gets a bad rep to whether or not you should include it in your pre-workout meal, and that is fats. However, there is one benefit that I want to go over, and that is basically that fats allow your body to slow the increase in insulin levels, and this is going to allow glucose to slowly enter your bloodstream. And how is this going to benefit you? Well, it's actually going to allow you to fight off muscle protein breakdown for longer. Therefore, you're going to stay more anabolic, allowing you to build muscle. So there is a little bit of benefits to including some fat in your meal, but I would look to kind of get them more indirectly through the proteins and carb sources that you include, rather than just trying to go into your way by including a healthy fat in your meal. It's personal preference, honestly. I'd kind of more stay towards to keep it on a minimum, just because you want to mainly prioritize your calories coming from the proteins and carbs, because these are ultimately going to be responsible for helping you build the muscle, and they're going to have more of a greater impact and benefit than fats will. So now I'd like to go over an example of a pre-workout meal. So for the protein source, I'm actually going to be going with eggs and egg whites, just a mix of the two. You want something that's fast digesting or fast absorbing, because it's going to be able to go to work more quickly. And I find like eggs are pretty light on the stomach. It's not like you're eating a bunch of chicken or something before you train. It's just a personal preference. I prefer something lighter, and eggs and egg whites do the trick. The reason why I've chose the combination of the two is just simply because you're optimizing your protein through the egg whites, and there's a little bit of protein in eggs as well, but there's more in the whites. So you're going to be able to get the benefit of the protein with the egg whites, and you're also going to be able to get that little bit of fat through including the 2 eggs. So instead of doing 4 eggs, you'd be getting more fat. So that's kind of why I like to do the mix of the two. And honestly, it mixes up pretty good. It kind of just tastes like, it doesn't taste like the plain texture that you would get with the egg whites. So in terms of actually how much protein you should be consuming, I like to aim anywhere from 20 to 30 grams. And this can be actually achieved by doing if you do half a cup of egg whites and you do 2 eggs, I find this is a great combination, and it gets around 26 grams of protein. So for my carb source, I'm actually going to be going with oatmeal, just for the same reasons as I highlighted with the eggs and egg whites. They're really easy and quick to prepare. All you got to do is just really boil some water and pour it on some oats if you want the most basic form of it. But there's a lot of different versatility benefits as well. I mean, you can throw berries, you can make it with milk, you can put cinnamon on it, you can mix a bunch of different things in with it basically to make it taste better. But it's like I said, you want something that you're going to be able to stick to, and oatmeal is very easy. And you're going to be able to get a lot of carbs, and there's also a lot of fiber in oatmeal. So I think that it really sticks with you when you're working out. For me, every time I eat oatmeal, I normally get pretty full, and I find with rice I don't get nearly as full, so I find that oatmeal kind of digests a little bit better, and it does me a little better, so I like to have it before I train. And like I said, there's a lot of fiber, and if you have 1 cup of oats, depending on your fitness goals and your lifestyle and what you're looking to do, I like to go with 1 cup of oats, just because I find that you get over 50 carbs that way. I think it's like 54 grams of carbs, and you're also going to be able to get some fat indirectly and some protein indirectly. I find that this does me for my workout, and mixed with the protein, like I'm pretty full. So I normally have this about 2 hours before I train. So now in terms of fat, like I had mentioned before, I don't like to prioritize it. I don't like to try to go out of my way to include healthy fat options. I kind of do that more later in the day because healthy fats are important. I just don't see the real benefit to including them, too much of them, and prioritizing them in your pre-workout meal. So because of this, I am getting a little bit of fat in the eggs from the yolk. I think it's about 9 grams of fat for 2 eggs. So I am getting it indirectly there, and I'm also getting it indirectly with my oatmeal as well. So I think the 2 combined is going to give me about 15 grams of fat, and that's fine for me just because they're really quality protein and carb sources. So that's kind of what you want to make sure is you want to make sure you're optimizing your protein and your carb sources, and if you do that, then the fat's going to come through those options. So that's kind of what I normally do for fats. So now I'd like to move into post-workout nutrition. So after your training session is done, most people think that they need to get the protein shake and they need to slam one back immediately after they finish their workout. And this is kind of what's known as the anabolic window. And honestly, there's a lot of hype between what is it real or like is it important. And honestly, my opinion on it is that it is real, but it's actually much longer than you think. You actually have a lot more time to actually get those nutrients into you. I think what should be prioritized is that the actual quality of the food sources that you're getting versus actually trying to get overwhelmed with the timing of it. Once you're able to actually optimize the food sources that you're getting, then you can start making the little changes of optimizing the timing. But like I said, adherence is the most important thing, and make sure you're including quality post-workout nutrition is probably the most important thing. The only thing that I would say about that is that if you train fasted and you don't eat before you train, then I think post-workout nutrition becomes a little bit more important, and then maybe you want to get that protein shake into you immediately after your train. I think that becomes more of an importance. But if you're getting that good pre-workout meal, then you have a lot longer than you think. So that's kind of why I wanted to clear that up, and I think that post-workout nutrition is important, but I think you should focus on the quality of the food sources versus the actual timing. So before I go over the benefits of each macronutrient and what it serves in terms of your post-workout nutrition, I think it's very important to understand that your post-workout nutrition is actually going to help with recovery. It's going to help optimize the muscle building process. It's going to help to refuel your body and rehydrate your body as well. So yeah, with that being said, now I'd like to go over each of them, one of the macronutrients to tell you kind of what they serve and why they're important to include in your post-workout nutrition. So in terms of your protein for your post-workout nutrition, you want something that's fast digesting so it enters your body pretty quickly. This is because you want to decrease your muscle protein breakdown, and you want to make sure that those protein synthesis levels stay elevated to basically allow you to build and repair new muscle. So honestly, a lot of people jump to protein supplements like protein powders, and I'm on board with this. I think it's a great idea because it's very cost effective, it's very easy, it's very you can basically bring it anywhere with you. So in terms of overall adherence, I think it's very high up there. And when there's actually been a study that was performed that if you actually do a protein supplement versus a chicken breast, there wasn't much difference in terms of the quality of the protein that you're getting. So I think that it makes sense to supplement with protein. You don't want to you don't want your diet to be overwhelmed with protein powder. You want to prioritize quality food sources, but I think post-workout nutrition, it definitely serves a major benefit. So because of this, I think it's a great idea to have a protein powder as your post-workout nutrition source. Now moving on to the benefits of post-workout carbs. So basically what happens when you train is that you're going to deplete the glycogen that's stored in your body. So what you want to do, the idea is you want to replenish that. So you want to have a good quality carb source. And honestly, since you were going with the protein powder as a convenient way to get your protein, I think it just makes sense to make a protein smoothie. It's the most easiest, convenient way to do so. So I like to, for my carb sources, I like to use mostly fruits. It's a good way also to get your fruit in. So I like to combine bananas, maybe even frozen fruit, like a 4-berry mix is normally my go-to. And even a kiwi, honestly, I'm a big fan of the kiwi. Just because of it tastes really good and it's kind of cheap and you're able to kind of throw it in and it kind of gives it a unique taste. So it kind of spices up your protein shake. But like I said, you definitely want to make sure that you're getting those carbs into you, and I think fruit's a great way. And making a protein smoothie is a great way to get both combine your protein source with the protein powder and to actually replace the depleted carbs that you use during your workout. So in terms of post-workout fats, I think the same concept applies. I like to kind of not really prioritize it. The same thing I do with my pre-workout and post-workout. I just kind of like to include them with the indirect sources. The reason why is because it's actually going to slow down your digestion and absorption of nutrients, which is what you don't want immediately after you work out, because you want those nutrients to be able to get to the muscle as quickly to be able to repair and build new muscle. So you want basically them to go to work pretty quickly. So because of this, I kind of like to prioritize the majority of my calories coming from the carbs and the proteins to really make sure that I'm optimizing those calories. And then towards the end of the day, I like to kind of include my fat sources, which normally for me it's almond butter just because I love it so much. But there's a lot of different healthy fat options that you can include. But if you haven't tried almond butter, definitely give it a try. It's awesome. Alright, so that's going to conclude this week's episode on my pre and post-workout nutrition. I hope everybody liked the video and got something from it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of great content planned in the works, similar to this kind of content with educational style, training videos, training tips, motivational, nutrition videos, everything that I pretty much cover anything. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also turn on the bell notifications as well to make sure you get notified every time I release a new video, which actually happens to be twice a week now. So now I release videos on Sunday and Wednesday every week, so you definitely want to make sure you get notified when I drop a new video. And also don't forget to hit the like button as well, kind of show your support and make sure you like it, so it helps expose my channel to other people who might be interested in similar content that I put out. So yeah, it might actually help kind of raise some awareness for my channel as well and help it grow. Yeah, so definitely subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notifications, and like the videos. And if you'd like to see more from me, I do, like I said, I do have a Week 1 Wednesday series. That's my Wednesday upload. Yeah, you can definitely check that out. I created a playlist on my channel for that. So definitely go binge watch that as well. Yeah, and that's going to do it. I hope everyone has a great day. All right, peace out.